Hello, America. This is
the fastest 2 hours in radio.
I think we really need like an intellectual revolution.
Now, of course, this is not so much a show as it is a special event.
The Morning Edge with Fox 2's Vic Faust,
We need to have a little talk here.
Chris Knight,
Hang on.
and Eric Johnson.
The more bizarre he gets,
The more people like him.
A complex mechanism that in itself must be operated by an even more complex entity, you.
The Morning Edge starts now.
Hey guys, welcome into the show. It's Thursday. Is this week zooming by for you guys?
Yeah.
It is for me too, for whatever reason. Chris, is it zooming by? No, man.
Every day zooms by.
No, dude. I guess it kind of does.
Every year zooms by.
Yeah. It really does. You sound like a grandpa.
Do I?
Yeah, and you're younger than I am. Right? You're younger than I am.
I don't know. How old
Yeah,
are
you
you?
are.
Right?
How old are you?
Yeah, let's.
I
How old are you
stopped,
guys?
as a friend of mine told me.
Are you 50?
No, not yet. I see it. I see it over
You
the
see
hill.
the light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, yeah, if that's
Big
the end.
50?
If that's the end.
Closer than not.
Well, a good friend
Right.
of mine stopped counting at 38.
Yeah, that's a good number.
Oh, well, then I'm still counting.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, Chris.
Mm-hmm. He's still
Why
there.
38?
Yeah, he just said he
Was there a
stopped counting.
significance in before 40, I guess?
I don't know. He stopped counting at 38, which was about 6 years ago for him.
All right.
And then he tells people he's 33 because he can pass for that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
He tells people he's 33.
Yeah, it sounds real good.
I mean, I laughed, but
I like that.
I got carded the other day.
Nice.
That's not. I could see that.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I laughed. I was like, sure, I'll show you how old I am.
Well,
hell yeah.
But here's what they tell you though. They card you 40 and under, and some people are
Oh.
very,
Well,
very,
it was the
very
movie
strict.
theater, and I was with my kids and my husband, and I had just ordered them the like combo with Slurpee and large popcorn and everything, and I just wanted a citywide can. And he's like, I'm gonna have to see some ID. I was
Wait a
like,
second.
really?
Okay. Did
Your husband looks like a kid.
Well, yeah, we both. Yeah, he looks young too.
He's kind of short, you know.
he's not
No, he's
short.
not short.
No?
No,
he's, not
he's
as
like
tall as you.
6'2".
Is he?
Yeah.
He's
Damn,
about
that-
He's about my height.
I've never met him, but I've just seen pictures. So I
Yeah.
guess
No.
that picture was deceiving. Because it was you, Eric.
No, he's definitely over 6 foot.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm a damn.
No, he just looks like he's 12.
Yeah. He looks very young.
But yeah, so I was like, sure, I have no problem showing you how old I am. And he looked at it and goes, well done, and handed it back to me. I was like,
Oh, that's
thanks.
nice.
You ever
How
get
old do you
carded,
think he
Vic?
was?
He was probably mid 20s
Okay.
because it was middle of the day. Like,
Yeah.
and he didn't go back to college. So he was
My
older
God, it
than
was
that.
middle of the day and he carded you too.
Yeah.
When's the last time you've been carded?
About 3 months ago. It was in a convenience store.
Mm.
I didn't say anything. And then the person didn't say anything. And maybe it was by the look on my face.
You got that baby face.
No, and the woman
Is that what
said,
it
we card
is?
everybody 40 and under. I said,
40.
okay.
Oh,
But
nice.
you're not 40.
I know. I'm well north.
It feels good though.
It's the Botox, baby. Well, by the way, the woman that does my Botox, we'll have her on the show in a couple weeks or whatever. We did a before and after picture.
Yeah.
Or we did the before picture. We'll do the after picture later.
I have yet to venture
You haven't
to
needed
that
to.
route. I don't know. I'm here's what I worry about. I'm very expressive and I make a lot of facial expressions. And I just feel like if that got taken away because I did something that stopped it, I feel like my closest friends would be like, what'd you do?
No, I promise
I'd
you
look
right
weird.
now, you'll be doing something.
Oh, eventually.
I promise you.
But
How you just said that, I promise you.
it's like,
You will be venturing in.
I feel like I'm one of
I
the only
promise.
people around me that doesn't do it. It sucks.
Yeah, well, you'll be doing it. Trust me.
I just
But-
got the money.
And then
I'm so cheap.
So let me ask you, once
and
you
then
do it
you'll
once,
get
do
a
you have to
shot in
keep
your
doing it?
lips. You'll get just
Ew, no.
Yeah, that's every woman.
Nope.
Every
no.
woman.
You can cross that off my list, Vic. This
And I'm
woman will
telling you-
never get her lips injected.
Now the problem is some women go
Even
overboard.
if your husband talks to you really, really nice, and he says, Crystal,
He wouldn't do that though.
how do you know he wouldn't do that?
Because if he wasn't going to be so picky on how big I got when we had kids, I don't think he's going to be picky about my lips.
You never know. People
You never
change.
know.
I I wouldn't
people
ask
change.
him to get something fixed. I don't think he should ask
So
me
let
to
me
get something
let me
fixed.
ask you this, Vic. If you get Botox,
Yeah.
you do this because you're on TV for appearance, et cetera,
But you know what?
plus self-esteem. Once you get Botox, do you always get Botox?
Well, that's the other part of it. I had done it 3 times over the last 5 years. I did it once a year, so I just did it again. But I have found, Tasha, who owns Aesthetica, and actually in Lake St. Louis, Chris, not far from here. Amazing. Put a plan together for him because, hey, I'm not getting any younger. Not at all. I'm 49, and I don't mind talking about it. But I told Tasha, I was like, man, we got to get you on. I was like, this is amazing because of all the results. Anyway, so yeah, at some point in time, you would do it. You have I guess it would be like a plan, like for your body,
Okay.
just like for your face, your eating, anything of that nature that you would have. So yeah, I hadn't done it in a year, and so I did it again. But it's also about trying to take care. I've never really taken care of my skin. I'm out in the sun. I'll use sunblock and things of that nature occasionally, but I'm out in the sun 2-3 hours a day during the summer. I'm running, exercising, pool, thing of that nature. Kids on the weekends. So yeah, Chris, at some point in time, but less is more. I've always believed less is more. A little is a good thing.
You haven't done your lips, have you?
Hell, I promise you I will never do my lips.
Great question, Crystal.
No,
All right,
I
just had to throw
promise.
it out there.
On my kids' lives.
Okay.
Never. A guy doesn't need to do that. I don't wear
know
lipstick.
They don't.
Man,
I know
bet
they
your
don't
lips
need
feel
to.
weird though. Wouldn't they feel weird?
We're gonna
Like
talk-
all
I-
puffed up. And
We're-
stuff,
I just
like,
couldn't.
I'm
I'd end
telling
up
you, in a
like
couple
chewing
weeks,
on them or something.
we'll ask Tasha all of these questions.
Oh man.
It'll blow your mind. So
Oh man.
just a little. Okay, when's the last time you recorded, Chris?
It's been a while. Months.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think what surprised me more was that
How
I
the
was
hell
with
did we
my
get
kids.
into this conversation?
And my kids aren't young, so I'm like, really?
Yeah. By the way, this is The Edge, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Chris Knight, Crystal Cooper, I'm Vic Faust. We were off and running today, and that's how this show goes before we even had a chance to welcome you in. It is Thursday, August 18th. The time is 8:11. Coming up at about 8:25, 8:30, we're going to talk to John Driscoll, the attorney who just secured a $300 million settlement for American families who lost loved ones from terrorism in the Middle East. Had no idea this even existed, where you can take money from money that's going to the Middle East and give it back to Americans who have suffered losses through their families. Then at 9 o'clock, we've got Dave Murray to talk about, we'll just call it the mega storm.
Did you see Northern Lights?
I didn't see the Northern Lights, but Chris Higgins, one of our meteorologists, explained this whole thing that's going on with surges from the sun. You can check it out on fox2now.com. We've also got Dave, of course, coming up at about 9 o'clock to explain why and how this is working and how it can affect things. And guess what? I was told it could affect satellites. I was wondering when my DirecTV stream went out this week.
Yes.
Guarantee it's because of that. I kept having to put my password and my username back in, which is a pain in the ass arse for you, Crystal.
I was having a problem with my phone yesterday. It was weird. Wondering if it has something to do with that.
Yeah, it could be. Drew, we'll have Jane on Monday. I know you're dying to get Jane on.
Drew
because,
loves Jane.
Because you've had
You better
so
vote
many.
for her next time.
No, because you've had so many wrong predictions. You predicted Sam Page, but it really wasn't that big of a prediction because, Drew, I predicted it as well. I'm sorry, it wasn't that big of a deal. Name recognition didn't have time, and less than about 27% of St. Louis County voted. But we've talked about that. We'll get her on Monday. I promise you. Tomorrow, we were going to do more Conspiracy Theory Friday. We've also got some cannabis to talk about tomorrow. And by the way, we're going to be talking to some really great people, owners of cannabis shops coming up. Joe Patterson, who's on the line every day, his son changed his life. He went from being a St. Louis City cop, now makes tons of money in the cannabis industry. So that'll be interesting. Crystal's friend has really set the stage. Who do you have coming up when we have him on the show? And he's been in it for a long time.
Yeah, Adolphus Bush. So he started off in Colorado and then worked through that, becoming recreational there. And he did grow out there and like pre-rolls and things like that. And then has moved back to St. Louis and has started a company here manufacturing. So he has Teal out of here and then also High Five, which does gummies.
Any relation to the beer family?
Yes.
Adolphus Bush?
Yes. But I mean, the kid has gone out. He's gone out and done very well for himself. So yeah, he knows so much, and you can ask him all kinds of questions. So if you guys want to hit us with any of your questions about it switching over from medical to recreational, or anything about manufacturing of products and things like that, or what helps and how to figure out when you go in what you need, we can.
Is he next week?
Okay, yes, next week.
Okay, so when we'll have him next week. We've got Conspiracy Theory Friday tomorrow, just letting everybody know. We got to do that, so come with your stuff. I already saw another one yesterday.
Yeah.
Anne Heche was murdered because she had a movie on child sex trafficking coming out. Very, very interesting stuff. And then you look at Anthony Bourdain, and then you look at a couple other entertainers. Anybody who tries to do movies or exposés on child sex trafficking, weird things happen, as in they stop breathing. It's scary stuff. Joe Patterson Sr., sorry, I said city cop. Joe's county cop.
So he does security for what is his company? Sorry, the Patterson tomorrow.
Patterson. He's at the cannabis company as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if he did products or if he did security for them or what he did.
Oh, no. Owns a company like Adolphus.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very difficult.
Damn, Drew
get
wants to see
licenses.
some Jane.
I know. That's what I was like.
On a different note, I have a question for you, Vic.
He's a security consultant. Is that why you were asking? Joe Sr. said
Yeah,
that.
I was just wondering because there's a lot of different aspects to the industry.
Yes.
So like there's like the transportation aspect, because if you manufacture it or cultivate it, you aren't the transporter. So there's a lot
Bingo.
of things that like you can go into. That's what I was wondering. Was he in security for dispensaries and manufacturing places like that, or was he actually working with product?
We'll talk with him tomorrow. We've got
There we go.
3 great people who are going to break down all aspects of the business. Drew, for the final time, and this is the final time I'll address you today. Jane has not been hiding, and I've told you this before. It's been a matter of us working her in. That's on me. I have not booked Jane. That's on me because we have been slammed with so many other things. If you can tell me what the pertinent reason, what would the number one question was you wanted to ask her, that would be great. But you have not even brought a reason for bringing her in yet. But I promised you would get her. And nobody's more direct in media than I am, Drew. Nobody else talks about all the issues that you want to talk about than I do. So, hey, take a deep breath. Everything's going to be all right. We're going to get to her. And just enjoy the show because I know you live on every word, as we say all the time.
All right, no more Drew. I have a question for you.
All right.
Why don't we make a thing to where all these news channels quit putting up, somebody just got murdered in North St. Louis. Breaking news.
Well, time out. We don't do breaking news. Somebody just got murdered in North St. Louis. We don't. Maybe somebody else does.
Well, somebody else does. So I'm just curious because, that happens like every day.
Not breaking. Nobody maybe. But there's not breaking.
News, 2 men killed in North County this morning.
I know we don't do that at Fox.
Okay.
Because it's not,
Because it was not Fox that I seen it on, but it's like, how the hell is that breaking news? Because this happens every day. Right?
Well, yes and no. That's the old adage. It's the old adage. Research shows people are tired of hearing about when murders happen in those spots because they happen all the time. But at the same point in time, if you don't, it seems like you don't care. But
But you don't have to put it as breaking news.
No, that's why I don't. No,
Okay.
no.
All right, we're on the same page.
Also getting we're just still getting caught up with everything. Cardinals won again last night, 3 games in first place. Awesome news
exciting.
there. They actually had about 30,000 last night, I believe. They only had about 30,000, which is about the league average on weekends.
On the week school
Right.
starts.
Yeah.
How about Montgomery?
Yes.
Yeah, guy from New York pitching. By the way, the Cardinals, 2 new acquisitions, pitchers, left-handed pitchers. They're 6-0 in start. Cardinals are 6-0 in their 6 starts already.
Nice.
Yeah. We
We're
needed
going
some.
to the playoffs.
Well, we're at a
You would
season
hope.
high 14 games over 500.
3 games over Milwaukee right now. It is
Yep.
interesting because as much as we complain
They'll
and
lose
like the
again today.
Cardinals,
Wainwright's
hope.
on the mound.
No. Not Cardinals.
Oh.
Milwaukee.
I'm like,
I was surprised that Milwaukee beat the Dodgers
the first game.
the first game.
I'm with you on that one.
Well,
100%.
but last night was a tight game too.
Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah. So we'll see where it goes. The only problem is the other top teams in the National League. Guess what? They're all winning, just like the teams the Cardinals have to beat in the playoffs
Yeah.
are all winning and getting better too. And that's the issue. Dodgers, Mets, Phillies, they're all winning, if not more than the Cardinals, and all have better records than the Cardinals. So
How would you like to be
just
on
gotta keep going.
Milwaukee Brewers right now?
yeah. I listened to
after
sports
the
radio in
decisions
St. Louis.
that were made to get rid of their closing pitcher.
St. Louis Sports
Wow.
Radio 2 days ago. They played clips from Milwaukee sports callers.
Yeah, I bet they did. I bet they used
It
that
was,
bleep button a lot too, didn't they?
It was interesting. Joe Patterson from Line says, Showbiz News producers have confirmed that Liz Cheney will not be returning for season 2 of the January 6th hearings. Ha, ha, ha. I'm following that. That is funny. funny as well. Another big topic. Also, some things we'll get into today. I know Eric was beating this drum from the get-go. Oh, by the way, CNN, NBC, CBS has now. Oh, well, Biden administration, why did you call it the Inflation Reduction Act when it's not going to reduce inflation? They're trying to cover their bases now, which is right after it was signed. Oh, well, wait a second. This doesn't eliminate inflation. Good morning, Eric. Did you see any of that yet? CNN, NBC, CBS, all coming out and saying, well, this isn't right after the bill has been signed.
On
Another
day
big
one.
topic from today.
On day one, when they stuck a microphone right in Joe Manchin's face.
Yeah.
That was the day I saw it. I didn't need NBC, CNBC, and all those other clowns to do it. They're covering their ass because they know that inflation is about to go up.
This
Wait
was
till
not
Christmas.
Yeah, this was not an accident. They knew damn well what was going on.
Okay, but that's the big lie to me.
It is the
Who
big
gives
lie.
a damn what the hell Donald Trump's doing when your Christmas presents are going to go up 40% this year?
I'm glad you see it, Eric. What is?
That's
I mean,
the
it is
big
what's
lie.
going on.
You
Chase-
lied to our face on national TV for 6 months. This is you. What was the first one? There were like the first iteration was the Green New Deal.
Oh, the infrastructure bill.
The infrastructure bill, the I'm going to just take all your money bill. That one didn't work. And then now they just said, well, we're just going to blatantly lie to these people. Savannah Guthrie, maybe you could go out and say, call it I don't know. It's going to reduce inflation. That didn't go over very well.
No,
because
because-
now Joe Manchin comes out with all of his other little cronies on camera and says, guess what? We lied to you. They didn't have to say we lied to you. But when you say, well, it's called the Reduction Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, Joe, when's it start? And he goes, well, it's not going to start. It's a lie.
He's very popular in West Virginia, but
No,
it
not
could-
anymore, he's
but
not.
this could look where Joe Manchin is.
He's
in
the
next
new
4
Democrat,
years.
Liz Cheney. He's the new Democratic Liz Cheney. A lot of people had faith in him. Democrats did, Republicans did, Independents did, and he flip-flopped so bad, and he's the catalyst of this big
Yeah,
lie.
we'll get into that. We can get into that topic also. Today, 1920, the 19th Amendment was passed. There were women. Crystal could vote.
Yay.
1920. On
Was
this
that such
day.
a good idea?
No.
Good. I'm glad you hit that out of the park.
No.
I'm kidding.
Stop it.
Crystal, I'm just joking.
For everybody
Women
that,
should stay home, cook,
Chi-
clean,
Oh,
and
yeah.
take care of the kids.
for
Yeah.
everybody that couldn't
Well-
see, when Eric said that, he couldn't look at me.
I know. I'm teasing.
He didn't want to. He didn't want to see what was being thrown
We're
at him.
just
It's like,
He was like, if I say it while I look at her, it won't come out.
China and Russia announced they're taking part in military exercises
they
right now.
are.
Of course they are. A fifth set of human skeletal remains found at Lake Mead.
Oh, there's a whole bunch more.
They're
Keep
probably
looking.
going to find. Well, now they're saying, well, the medical examiner says, well, no, we got to see if all the parts that we're finding are to the same body or two bodies.
Jeez.
They're-
It's fascinating. It's like we're watching a real-time version of Casino.
Yes.
It really is.
It's Joe Pesci showing up in a box.
The CDC's also come out and said, yeah, we screwed up this first batch of COVID. We're trying to just put it this way. No government agency ever comes out and says, yeah, we screwed up. We're going to be better, unless they're saying it so that they can change things and I'm not sure we will like how they change.
What do you mean?
Well, they came out. They said in our big moment, our performance did not reliably meet expectations. We're going to change things to make sure that we have a pulse on the American people and we get out information quicker so that people understand what we really need them to do. And I'm like, oh.
I'm afraid right now they are fighting a case of Don't Cry Wolf, the boy who cried wolf.
Oh,
no one believes them anymore.
No.
They can literally say monkeypox is going to wrap its big-ass arms around you, squeeze, and your liver is going to come out through your nose. And it might be true, but no one cares what they say anymore. That's the big problem with the CDC. They have to go through, I'm afraid, here's what they have to do. They have to go through an era of telling the truth and becoming and solving diseases and really being good at their job before we can trust them again. But we don't trust them anymore. Monkeypox. Does anybody give a damn about monkeypox?
Yeah, they do. And we'll talk
do
about
they
that.
really?
Well, we don't, but it's starting to get a little larger. There's more meetings. There is a vaccination and distribution plan in the state of Missouri, but it is growing. But
I mean,
once
the
again,
gay people care.
well, it's expanding disproportionately. And when I mean disproportionately, like 100 times more so when it comes
and,
to
okay, the CDC can start there.
Gay men's sex.
The CDC can start there and let us know why they think that is. Because if that's the case, if that's the quantifiable numbers, Vic, they will have a whole report done on why monkeypox is in the gay community. Mm-hmm. They'll start there.
Yeah.
Just go there.
And they won't, though.
It's not a woke issue.
They won't,
it's
because they'll consider it to be one of those issues.
Okay.
So it's always looked under. We got to take a quick break, but we got so much to get into today. Crystal, did you need to add anything before we had to break?
I was just going to say that I would think that they're trying to not have all the chaos that happened around AIDS happen again. So I think that they're trying to just be a little more careful about it in that sense. Do you see what I'm saying?
You know what? The truth hurts sometimes. Just tell the truth.
No,
My God.
Well, Chris.
It's not your fault. You didn't go and bake up a batch of monkeypox and give it to the gay community.
Right.
Just tell us what the hell it is.
That's why you're not supposed to do that stuff. That stuff won't
ridiculous.
happen.
Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Crystal Cooper. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. When we come back, John Driscoll. This is fascinating to me. I mean, hopefully you enjoy it too. Just secured a $300 million settlement for American families who lost loved ones to terrorism while they were across seas. I didn't even know you could do this. If you have any questions for John, be sure to jump in, let us know so we can ask him as well.
One of our special friends on Facebook says she just got COVID.
I know. Chris says all of his family has it. Right, Chris? Or something? Or had it? Or
Yeah, I got quite a few people. But it's not,
yeah.
it's nothing crazy.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
is.
the flu.
We got to take a quick break. It is The Edge, fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. We'll be right back. Jump back in on Facebook. Share the show, 100.7 The Viper. You can also listen at viperrocks.com and The Morning Edge on YouTube. Back with more after this.
Hi, this is Kate. You're listening to the Edge Morning Show.
Thanks, everyone, for baking your way here on this toasty morning. Are you all ready to jam? Excellent. Before we get rolling, let's start by hashing out everything bagel will be discussing. Profit margins are okay, but they could maybe be butter. Sorry, I don't mean to waffle. Next quarter, it's all or muffin. Did you have a question, sausage patty?
My name's Patricia.
When you can't take your mind off breakfast, it matters where you stay. Delicious breakfast available at our Hilton family of brands. Hilton, for the stay.
Keep your resolution to quit cigarettes this time. Go to I Quit Vapor, 852 Bryan Road, O'Fallon. I Quit Vapor carries the salt nicotine systems, their latest juice flavors, and all of their pod systems. Let their staff explain why the salt nicotine system is so effective in helping you to quit cigarettes for good. It has a much smoother delivery and allows you to adjust the amount of nicotine intake. I Quit Vapor is still your one-stop shop for everything vapor. Keep your quit cigarette resolution this time. Go to I Quit Vapor, 852 Bryan Road, O'Fallon.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free online visit. forhims.com/JOY.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
Doug. And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb. All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs. Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, this is Conrad Bellman at Bellman's Carnection in St. Peters. Right now, we're buying any pre-owned vehicles. At Bellman Carnection, we will take anything on trade: farm, house, truck, cars, and SUVs. Bring into a Bellman pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or van today. The inventory is always fresh, so hurry in before someone else buys the one you want. Bellman's Carnection in St. Peters at Highway 70 and 370, where you will never pay the max. Online at carnection.com.
If you are having a bad day at work, I can help. Hi, this is Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair. We just expanded to Cottleville and St. Peters and are looking for qualified automotive and auto body technicians that would want to work in a climate-controlled environment. That's right, we offer a fully climate-controlled, air-conditioned and heated facility in both Cottleville and St. Peters. Visit us at CompleteAB.com. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works overtime with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget is available as a concentrate or extreme reach hose end. Purchase Wet and Forget in-store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It is The Edge. The fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Eric Johnson's here, Chris Knight, Crystal Cooper. I'm Vic Faust. Appreciate you jumping in, getting ready to talk with John Driscoll, an attorney who secured a $300 million payment for families who lost loved ones across seas. Coming up at 9 o'clock, Dave Murray is going to tell us why the mega storm has affected so many things. I am convinced that's why my direct stream from AT&T has given me issues all week long. The satellites get affected, which is kind of crazy.
Did you see any of this?
Cell phone gets affected.
Chris's cell phone. I'm convinced.
Did you see the Northern Lights last night?
I didn't, but Chris asked.
Did you?
No.
I wasn't up that late.
But we're in that belt.
Hey, have you guys ever known anybody or yourselves that you've won some big drawing or lottery or?
Yeah, when I won the lottery.
Yeah, is that where your money came from? Is that why you have helicopters? No, sir. We're announcing the winner of the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway.
Yeah. Who's doing
3
that?
years ago. What do you mean,
St.
Fox
Jude.
2?
Yeah, but who does that?
St. Jude.
You.
No, they each year we pull out names live on
Gotcha.
TV.
Yeah.
3 years ago, one of my daughter's best friends, her grandparents won the home in O'Fallon,
Oh,
Missouri.
what?
From Fisher.
I remember that.
And you know what they did?
What?
They used their daughter, who was a realtor, to sell the home.
So they got the
And
commission.
then they got the cash and the commission.
What? That's double dipping. That's
Gotta
like the
be smart.
Democrats.
Stop it. Hey, we got to talk with our friend, John Driscoll. We've been promoting you, local attorney and attorney all over the country. John, good morning. John was a friend of mine from high school. We catch up when he comes back into town. But John just secured a $300 million settlement for families who lost loved ones in the Middle East, Iran specifically, when it came to terroristic activities. John, I found this story fascinating because we don't hear about stories like this, and we cover everything on this show. How the heck did you find this niche in law, and give us a breakdown of what happened?
Well, that's a good question, Vic, and good morning. How did I find it? You all actually
He just got shot by the Ayatollah.
Area 2.
Hello? Sunspots.
We're going to, John, I don't know if you can hear us or not, but we can't hear you right now. We had you ready to go. And
you can't hear me?
There we go.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. Well, again, good morning. Good question. Let me just go through it quickly. Some lawyer friends of mine were working on these cases for veterans. They told me about it. I started looking into it. I was fascinated by it. It was like reading a John Grisham novel. Right. It was hard to believe that this was happening. Yep. And the more I learned about it, the more interested I became, and more passionate I became about helping these veterans, who, many of which I became friends with and have spent time with. And it was just a fascinating, still a fascinating story. It's like a movie. And it all kind of starts in Iraq, and Iran's desire and interest to destabilize for its own purposes. And of course, the way Iran deals with things, it tried to destabilize things by perpetrating terrorist attacks on American soldiers and others that were in Iraq, and using a specific weapon type, which is called the EFP, Explosively Formed Penetrator, which weirdly originates from oil drilling. It was initially used to drill deep oil wells. But what it is, in terms of a weapon, it's like a copper slug inside a tube that shot from the side of usually like a little hill that a armored vehicle will go drive by, and it just punctures the armor of an armored vehicle. But it causes, once it does puncture and it's inside the vehicle, it causes incredible heat and shrapnel, and it's a absolutely menacing weapon that rips through not only metal but certainly human flesh.
That's incredible.
Cause catastrophic injuries.
And that's coming from Iran. So that was the Iranian army. I can't remember what they're called, but the Iranians were shooting at the American soldiers. Is that what
what Iran does is it sponsors these other kind of splinter organizations, these splinter terrorist organizations like the Shia militia and others. Those are the ones that are actually on the ground perpetrating these attacks, but they're being financed and given material aid by Iran. Right. Iran's giving them money, it's giving them the weapons, things they need to operate.
Sure. So it's the proxy wars that we always hear about over in
That's right.
the Middle East. So the conflict was the Americans in Iraq or the Americans in Afghanistan, and Iran just isn't a part of that. How do you set up a lawsuit to go after them when it's kind of like that all's fair in love and war, you would think? You know what? Hey, you guys are in our backyard. We're going to take shots at you. How do you set up a lawsuit to make them culpable for what they did?
And when?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so, there's a lot of questions there. One, we've been suing Iran. Soldiers, victims of terrorism have been suing Iran for a long time now. Iran perpetrated the 1983 Marine barracks bombing, which I don't know.
Yes, absolutely.
Who's old enough to remember that or
yes.
not? But the victims of that attack have sued, and many others over the years that have been the victim of Iran's terrorism. There is a law called the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act. Mm-hmm. And in a nutshell, without getting down a legal rabbit hole, it allows for victims to sue certain countries. You can't sue other countries. You know, you as a United States citizen can't go sue Great Britain or, you know, Spain, because they enjoy sovereign immunity. But there's an exception to certain countries. The United States has made a law, the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act accepts certain countries, Iran, Syria, and a few others, Sudan.
It would be like
you can't sue them.
It seems like it would be similar to the United States suing Japan when they bombed Pearl Harbor. It's like, hey, we're not at war with you guys. So now we're going to have to file a lawsuit. It seems like
that's exactly right. Well, not necessarily for acts of war. You know, acts of war are excluded.
Where's
terrorism?
Where's the threshold there? If Iran just comes in there with a bunch of tanks and starts shooting at Americans, is that an act of war? Or you see what I'm saying? It's like, where is the threshold between terrorism and, hey, we're in a conflict?
Well, you know, without, again, getting down a legal rabbit hole, there are cases that have decided that, you know, and it's, you know, factor sensitive. But it is, as far as the law is concerned, it is pretty clear what's what.
And this is a fascinating topic. It is, because we've sued like North Korea before. We've done this, and I always wonder what collection agency goes and gets the money. You know, I've always been oh, damn.
That's the hard part.
We've won that.
That's
won
the hard part.
You know what I'm saying?
That's always the hard part.
Yeah.
You can get the judgment for the money. The hard part is getting them to pay up, right?
It seems like we could sue all of these guys. I mean, we could go sue Russia right now.
Well, we got a lot of things going on here in play. I guess.
But it's awesome that he won.
Yeah, where does the money? Okay, I mean, I know you get into you don't want to get in that legal rabbit hole, John. Where does the money come from, and how is it paid out?
Well, thankfully, you know, in the past, it was very hard. You would have this paper judgment, that was basically meaningless.
Yes.
But you know, several years ago, Congress created a fund for the victims of terrorism, and the fund is administered by the Department of Justice. And they put money in this fund that they get from enforcing sanctions. Banks, corporations that violate the sanctions that the United States has imposed upon many of these countries.
Wow.
When they get caught, they have to pay a fine, and the fine goes into this fund to compensate these victims. Now, the bad news is it only compensates these victims for pennies on the dollar, okay? So, you know, there's probably $50 billion in judgments for victims of terrorism. And, you know, I think we've probably only compensated those victims in the tune of maybe, I don't know, $4 billion. I'm kind of guessing here, but $4 billion of $50 billion outstanding. So, you know, it's pennies on the dollar, but it's something that these families can get, because we're talking about soldiers that lost their lives and now have children that don't have a father, or soldiers that lost their legs. So getting them something is better than,
No doubt about that. So, is Iran in the courtroom with you? I mean, does Iran have a lawyer?
No, they don't show up.
They don't show up.
They don't show up.
That's a great question.
Now, do you worry? Do you worry
but
at
it's
all?
kind of interesting. You still serve them. Like you file a lawsuit and you have to serve someone with a lawsuit. You still have to do that here. You have to, you know, it's a complicated system, but you serve them, and then yes, they don't show up.
Sir, we have another lawsuit coming from America.
Right?
Throw it in the trash.
Now, do you have any like personal concerns too when you take on something like this? Because I mean, we just saw what happened to Salman Rushdie, and he was an author that just wrote about it.
Great question.
And he didn't necessarily go after their pocketbook. I mean, does that concern you at all, or are you just I mean, obviously you fight for the victims, but
yeah, it's never concerned me. That's never really crossed my mind, to be honest. You know, I do work with people. You know, I have experts that I've had to hire to put this case together. And a lot of these experts that I work with, they have actually had specific bounties, or whatever the right word is, threats made by Iran on their lives.
Yeah.
You don't mess with people from Belleville, though, okay? You just don't.
That's true. That's true. Actually, originally, so even less so, I hope.
I think it's great. That is such a great story.
John, how many families did you represent in this case where you had this we look at it as a massive payout. You say it's pennies on the dollar, but anytime anybody hears $300 million settlement, that's massive.
Yeah. Well, I'll say three things. Number one, this involved, I believe, 15 or 17 actual victims, right, that were injured in 15 attacks. But, you know, about the money. So you make this claim on the fund, and you get pennies on the dollar. But I'll spend the rest of my legal career chasing Iran, trying to find assets that Iran has anywhere on the globe that we can get our hands on them, going up to Canada or going down to Brazil or wherever. We just actually began that process. We've only had this judgment 100 days, but we're already investigating, trying to trace assets that Iran, Iran has, because of the sanctions, they've spread their money across the globe in different places, and we're trying to find it.
You might know better than anybody else, but they're trying to do this Iranian nuclear deal right now. Couldn't the United States make a case saying, look, you guys are a bane of terrorism. You guys need to pay off your debts to these people that have won lawsuits again. Couldn't that be a negotiating point in all of this, is to say, look, you guys keep shirking your responsibility for these lawsuits of people who have brought judgments against you. You need to pay them off. Is that possible, or is that something Iran doesn't even consider?
I think it's entirely possible, but I think unfortunately, it's a very, very small, part of this very larger, geo-global political issue with Iran. But to answer your question another way, if they're allowed back into the international community, Iran, as a part of that, they should absolutely have to satisfy all of these judgments for all these victims of terrorism.
Absolutely.
It would certainly make sense. That's for sure. John, is there anything else that people should know about this case, or if they have loved ones who've dealt with something of this nature, or if they had questions, should they contact you, anything like that?
Well, I will say this. Representing veterans has been really the best part of my legal career. Having every lawyer wants a couple of things: a great client and a great case of liability, and a defendant who can pay the judgment. And here we couldn't have better clients. So, we are working on another project right now. Sadly, it's a whole nother story, maybe for another episode. But Camp Lejeune, Marine Base Camp Lejeune. You've probably seen all these
all over the TV
advertisements on TV. Yeah. So what happened? Unfortunately, all these Marines and their family members that lived at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987 were drinking water that was toxic. To make the story short, a dry cleaning place not too far off base, and for other reasons, these solvents got into the drinking water, and they're harmful. And as I said, Marines, their family members, drinking this water for years, decades.
Yes.
And now, unfortunately, they're suffering with the consequences. Cancer, women have had miscarriages, there's been cardiac birth defects, all sorts of horrible things that come from drinking these toxins.
Yeah.
And so now, thank God, the federal government is owned up to it. And they just passed a law, President Biden signed on August 10th, allowing these victims to file a lawsuit against the United States government to get compensation for all those years of being exposed to this. So there's only 2 years to do it, though. 2 years from August 10th, victims have an opportunity to come forward and file a lawsuit and get compensation. But we're talking about, during that span of time, a million people went through Camp Lejeune. Yeah.
So now, not trying to totally switch it, because that is insane that happened, and I'm glad you're taking that on. But we have a question from the Facebook line. Glenn was wondering if they can prove that COVID came from the Wuhan lab. Can we sue China?
Never.
No, you can't sue China.
Okay.
Because you can't sue a foreign country except a very narrow list. North Korea, Iran, Syria, Sudan. There are exceptions to the sovereignty, the rule of sovereignty.
So you'd go after the lab specifically, not the country?
Maybe, yeah. You might be able to go against the lab. It's very, it's kind of a complicated answer or analysis to determine whether you could or not.
Right.
It's hard to serve foreign entities.
I always wondered this. Were there any, this is going right into our backyard, Vic, you'll like this one. Were there any lawsuits with the United States government? I know we're turning the cameras around, but were there,
I know where you're going to go.
Were there any lawsuits with the Coldwater Creek stuff, with the Weldon Springs and all of the stuff?
There absolutely were.
There were?
actually were.
I never saw
Very
any of
good.
that stuff.
Yeah, there were. No,
I didn't get a check either. I went to Francis House. So
John's
I
an
need a check.
expert with water clarity and water
Right.
contamination.
I
as
remember
well.
when they were working on it, but I never. But they're ripping the garbage out of Maryland Heights right now, and I'm just like, what is going on? And do you know what the latest with all of that is?
I don't know the latest, but I will plug a very good friend of mine, a very good lawyer, Tor Herman. He worked on those cases. Tor has his office in Edwardsville and Chicago, and I know he worked on those cases. For details, I'd talk to him, but I don't know the latest. But I do know that there was, I think there was some. They were successful too in the lawsuits that they brought for Coldwater Creek.
Interesting.
John, do you have 3 minutes to stick with us?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
Hey, I've got to ask you the really important question.
Yeah.
Do you hang out with Yachty down in Puerto Rico? Because I mean,
hanging out might be strong, but
well, they're neighbors.
We have beers and a barbecue every now and
Well,
then.
it was funny because I was talking to John. I was like, when everybody was wondering where Yachty was, I was in this last few months before he returned. I'm like, I know where Yachty is. He's hanging out with John down in Puerto Rico.
They share golf carts.
Well, I am a big Yachty fan. There's no doubt about
Yes.
that. He does have a house actually for sale, not too far from where I'm standing. But we're happy he's back in the lineup in St. Louis, and I can't wait. I have tickets for October 2nd, which is the last game of the season. We have 2 Hall of Famers at least retiring.
Oh, what a
Olsen
great
and
game!
Yachty.
I don't know.
So I look forward to being there October 2nd.
Albert said in the press yesterday, if he doesn't get to 700 this year, he's coming back next year.
No, he didn't.
That's a lie.
No.
I just want to
They're
hear
all
what it
coming
sounded like.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Well,
glad.
Jordan came back too. You never know.
He did.
Brady came back. Gordon came back.
He sure did. They
That's
did.
true.
And we're not sure
that is true.
how old is Albert, by the way. Is he 38 or 98? Nobody knows exactly how old he is.
We went to high school together.
Okay, cool.
Hey, I also want to get, because you do spend part of your time in Puerto Rico, can you inform people what it's like to live down there now? Because I think a lot of people have no idea that a lot of companies have moved to Puerto Rico. I mean, I joke with you about, Yachty being where you are, and I think you said Ricky Martin and the Paul brothers.
Well, yeah, but that hurricane came through too. So how is it?
Exactly. That's why I want to get an update.
Great question. So, there was Hurricane Maria, which was devastating to Puerto Rico, and then followed by the pandemic right after. So, 2 huge gut punches to Puerto Rico. However, the pandemic had a silver lining for Puerto Rico. When all these people around the globe figured out that they don't have to live where they work any longer, many of them fled to places that they wanted to be, and Puerto Rico was one of those places. For that reason and some other reasons, businesses and people have relocated to Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico's doing really just fine. I mean, they're coming back, roaring back, really economically. So
Nice.
I'm optimistic on. I'm long on Puerto Rico, as they say.
Well, Puerto Rico, St. Charles. We invite you out here sometime. You'll love it.
Is that where you are right now?
I'm standing in Puerto Rico now.
Yes.
But as Vic will tell you, I grew up in Belleville, Illinois, and I practiced law. I still have an office downtown St. Louis, and I spend some of the year in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
You
I
don't
know-
talk about a success story. John is.
Well, he sued Iran. Hello, and won.
All I know is that I definitely have Puerto Rico on my list because my husband has done like television and TV sports, and they did a PGA. I'm forgetting what the tournament was, but it was like
Isn't that
right before the
Dorado?
hurricane came through. It might be Dorado, and he said it was absolutely gorgeous, and he got to hit there and everything, and he's like, "We're going to go back and play."
Nice. Well, we're coming down there. We'll trade you Lake St. Louis water for Puerto Rico water any day. That's
right.
fantastic. You see the lake; it's just glistening right now. It's
So
awesome.
you'll play around in golf with me, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. I look forward to it. You're all invited for sure.
Fun.
And maybe we'll do it in the off season and get lucky enough to run into Yachty.
Nice.
Yes. Before he moves.
After a long playoff run.
The
Hopefully.
long playoff.
Look
Yeah,
at
we're
you.
talking about December after
Hey,
he's taking some time off.
Nice.
There you go. I just want to see Ricky
My
Martin.
birthday's in December. Let's just birthday party it up.
Hey, John, we appreciate you, Tiff. I know it's a complicated subject and complicated matters that are difficult for the average person like us to understand, and you're trying to do surface stuff. But we love the work. Obviously, it's great for you. It's great for your clients.
Oh.
And
Yeah, if you could go
Here's
sue
my husband.
Canada, that'd be fantastic.
Here's my
by
husband
the
on
way.
the husband on the Facebook line. Puerto Rico Open is what he worked.
Puerto Rico Open, of course.
Puerto Rico Open, yeah, that's on the other side of the island, a
Yeah.
little bit east of where I'm at, but that's a huge tournament out by the Wyndham. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
John,
huge tournament.
are you still involved? Are you still part owner of a pro team down there, basketball?
Yeah, I'm one of 11 owners in the Guanabo Nets.
Guanabo Nets.
In the BSN, yeah.
Yeah.
Yadi, by the way, Yadier Molina owns one of the teams in the league, and so does Bad Bunny. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh yeah, Bad Bunny. I know him.
Well, we saw a video of Yachty getting kicked out of a game before he came back to the Cardinals.
He's a passionate guy.
Love that about him.
Hey, John,
yeah, well,
thank
he
you so much.
apologized for if he was out of line, so give him credit.
Hey, John, you're the best. We love you, man. Have a great day. Thanks for giving us so much time this morning.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It was a pleasure.
Thanks
All right,
again.
John Driscoll, the Driscoll Law Firm, keeping us posted. Go get Iran. Find that cash.
You wake up in the morning, you go into the boardroom, you go, what's our issue today? Veterans. Love it. Who are we suing? Iran. Go!
Team on 3.
Yeah.
Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Crystal Cooper. I'm Vic Faust. Hey, when we come back from this break, Crystal's got your birthdays. I got your headlines. And Dave Murray going to explain. I'm just dumbing it down, calling it the mega storm as the sun pushed out heat pulses, which might be screwing up your satellite, your phones, your internet service. We'll get the breakdown from Dave Murray. It's all coming up after the break. It's the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. It's The Edge.
Back in a moment.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-624-7544. 800-624-7544. 800-624-7544.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
From runny noses to running injuries to x-rays and labs, the BJC Medical Group Convenient Care in Wentzville is ready to help. Located at 1520 Wentzville Parkway, the Convenient Care is open throughout the day with BJC providers on hand to care for all patients 2 and older. With low co-pays and walk-ins welcome, it's your best medicine when you need it. To learn more about the BJC Medical Group Convenient Care in Wentzville, visit bjc.org/Wentzville.
This is a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup sound experiment. We're looking to find the perfect way to hear Reese's so you'll buy more of them. Here we go. Reese's.
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 Reese's. Hey, get out of here, you little stinker. Reese's.
Reese's. Reese's.
Peanut Butter Cups. That breathy one sounded very creepy, am I right?
Today's show is brought to you by your local STD florist, now featuring our Burning Bush Bouquet. She'll never forget a delivery from STD.
This is the Edge Morning Show.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. I hate the struggle of tough, greasy messes on my stovetop. So I just freak, wipe, and I'm done.
When I'm frustrated with stubborn bathtub soap scum, I just freak, wipe, and I'm done.
Mr. Clean Clean Freak delivers an innovative cleaning experience with a powerful deep cleaning mist that starts working on contact to break down tough messes in seconds.
Just freak,
wipe.
Done.
Kelly Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant cash offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
Now another hour of the Edge Morning Show on KFNS Troy St. Charles and KYRO AM and FM Troy. The Edge Morning Show.
Viper weather with legendary chief meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Viper meteorologist Dave Murray. Another beautiful day across St. Louis. Sunny and pleasant, low humidity, 84 for the high. Just delightful going out the door this morning. Tonight, clear skies, evening temperatures, upper 70s for the most part, 62 for the low. Friday, partly sunny, 85 for the high on Friday. Still pretty easy to take humidity levels. The weekend, Saturday and Sunday, partly sunny, slightly more humid. Another system starting to move in, and that could pop a shower or thunder shower at any time, Saturday or Sunday, though. The odds are favoring mid to late afternoon, early evening. No all-day rains. High temperature Saturday, 85. High temperature Sunday, 85. From the Viper Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Now back to the Edge on 100.7, The Viper.
Whipper River Electric, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. The Edge Morning Show. Yeah, we know we don't start as early as the other shows because we're a lot smarter. The Edge Morning Show.
Local headlines now with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Let's take a look at your headlines at 9 o'clock this morning. I don't know how people are doing this, but it happened again. An ATM was now stolen in Belleville. An ATM machine. The entire machine. How do people continue to get away with this? Eric says they did it with a backhoe. Nothing to see here. Don't mind us. If you see an ATM being hauled down the street anywhere on Main Street in Belleville, please call police. It's not theirs. You can go to foxnow.com and check out flooding updates for Metrolink. They've been closed down for a few weeks because of all the flooding that we had 3 weeks ago affecting tracks. Here we go. Got some names for you. The St. Jude Dream Home giveaway was announced about 20 minutes ago live on Fox 2. The brand new $600,000 house in O'Fallon, Missouri, built by Fisher Homes, was won by John Huntbrinker of Chesterfield, Missouri. The $5,000 gift card was won by Kathy Myers of St. Louis, Missouri. The outdoor entertainment package, which had a hot tub and an outdoor kitchen, Eric, by Prestige Pools and Spas, Ashley Bassam of Wentzville. Wentzville won it, and the bonus prize, the new vehicle from Franklin Honda, won by Virginia Davis of St. Peters, Missouri. Congratulations. We took a different update, different track on some of the news headlines this morning. You can also go to catch all your latest news on fox2now.com. Unfortunately, boil order continues in Collinsville following some water work. And believe it or not, Chris, this might get you smoke from the warehouse fire in Illinois from last week. There's still fires that pop up a week later. Insane. Cardinals won last night, 5-1. They're 3 games out in first place right now. Jamie Montgomery picks up another win. Cardinals' new starters. Cardinals are 6-0 in their starts right now. That's fascinating. It's amazing. Cardinals have a day game today. Adam Wainwright taking the mound just afternoon, going for take care of the business today with the Rockies. Go get that sweep. I'm Vic Faust. It is The Edge.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. It's your birthday.
It's your birthday. That's right. I served you cake. I'm Peggy. Pull your leggy. Happy birthday.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Go.
It's August 18th, and people born on this day have great mental and physical endurance. These Leos like to take chances and get a thrill out of living dangerously. Their boldness is part of their attractiveness, which only is heightened by their natural charm. Andy Samberg, You guys remember him from SNL?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 44 years old today. In 2007, won a Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Original Music and Lyrics for guess what song? With Justin Timberlake.
Something in a box.
Yep, exactly that. Also known for Brooklyn Nine-Nine. If you saw the movie Hot Rod, he was even the voice of Jonathan in all those Hotel Transylvania movies, which is cool. Moving on, Robert Redford. How old do you think he is?
Oh, my God.
83.
Yes, I'll
a
say
little
about
more. 86.
Wow.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
So he has an Academy Award, a British Academy Film Award, 2 Golden Globes, the Cecil B. DeMille Award, and he actually earned a Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Go
in
watch The
2016.
Natural because I know you haven't seen it yet.
Yes, I was going to say. And then he was credited for founding the Sundance Film Festival, for everybody that didn't know.
That's right.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids, my mom's favorite, and Decent Proposal's a good one. And if you haven't checked it out, check out Spy Game. That's with Brad Pitt as well. But then I had The Natural on the list. You already said that. Edward Norton, 53 today, won a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor Motion Picture when he had his debut film, Primal Fear. I also loved him in Fight Club. He's done The Illusionist, American History X, and then The Birdman with Michael Keaton, if you haven't seen that one. Christian Slater, he's 52 today, for his films Interview with the Vampire, and that's The Vampire Chronicles, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Also in the series Mr. Robot, if you guys never checked that out. As far as voiceover work, he does a lot. He was Pips in Ferngully, The Last Rainforest, if you remember that from a while ago. And then anybody that watches Archer, he's done Agent Slater, and then the Lion Guard for the little kids, Ushari. And then Dennis Leary is 65 today as well. Do you guys remember he played Bill Smalls from The Sandlot? A lot of people don't remember that.
I don't remember The Sandlot.
He also voices Diego in the Ice Age franchise and was Francis the cranky ladybug in A Bug's Life. Today would have been Robert Clemente's birthday, former outfielder for the Pittsburgh Pirates, who was a great humanitarian whose impact is still being felt today on the game. He would have been 88. And then Patrick Swayze, best known for his roles in the films Dirty Dancing and Ghost. He would have been 70 today.
Yeah, dang.
Yep. We're wishing the happiest of birthdays to all of our famous friends and anybody else out there with a birthday today, with lots of love from your Edge family.
Roadhouse.
Yes.
Good morning, my people.
You've got to wake up, please.
What?
Because I'm making fajitas.
Today, of course, is National Fajita Day.
National Fajita Day.
Oh, fajitas.
I do like fajitas.
Celebrate National Fajita Day.
Fajitas! Be careful! Very hot plate! Very hot!
Fajitas are served.
Come on, it's showtime.
Hey, it is showtime. Welcome back to the show. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Krista Cooper. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Real quick, we just had John Driscoll on the phone. He brought up Camp Lejeune. He said if anybody needs help or advice on that or spend some time there, you can go to camplejeune.com. That's his website for it. He's already helping. He's got a big lawsuit there, so he said there's room for others if you want to jump in. camplejeune.com. Who doesn't love fajitas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? You would.
Cheese enchiladas.
Of course you wouldn't like fajitas.
Yeah. Too steamy. They bring them out on those sizzling platters.
What the hell is wrong
I
with
love
you?
making it
nice,
myself.
big, hot, fat.
Yeah, that's all.
fajita
That's all.
with
Eric, I
some
thought-
That's all you, babe.
asparagus on top of it.
Eric, I was with some people Saturday
Eric?
night where the best asparagus ever is.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
Capital
You
Grill.
literally.
I almost took a picture and sent it to you, but I didn't want to make you throw up.
That's like saying I ate the best plate of dirt.
Oh my God.
Is Dave Murray? Is
Dave-
Dave Murray?
Thing.
Asparagus?
Dave
Asparagus is
Murray.
I bet he
is-
likes fajitas.
Dave Murray's a top shelf. He is a top shelf.
Then he would never eat asparagus.
Yes, he would.
Love asparagus.
Oh!
Asparagus last night.
How can you do that to yourself?
Because
so
you
good.
I mean,
All right. Moving on to something that doesn't make
I
me
think
sick.
you were born probably well, but I think you took things that kind of affected the body over the years.
Okay, I'm going to say this. And this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it here. My mom, who I love, and she did a lot of stuff great, she couldn't cook. And she would put the canned asparagus out with the meatloaf.
Oh, well,
and
no
that was
wonder.
it.
No.
That was
wonder
it.
You don't like it.
No, of course not.
Yeah, right? She ruined it for you.
It was that smell.
I gotta-
Anyway.
I got to take you to a restaurant where they do it correctly.
Okay, I will give
Heck,
you
we
one
can take
shot
you to
at
Dave
that.
Murray's Grill where he does it correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. We haven't got the invite.
You just you break it up into those little pieces, put it in a pan, little butter, boom, saute it for maybe 2 minutes max. Bang, you'll love it.
He's talking my language.
That is awesome. Dave, we
Maybe
are.
sprinkle a little Parmesan on it.
Well, it's
There
like
you go.
mushrooms.
Have some fun with
So
it.
I was in Seattle. Dave will know what I'm talking about. There were these things called portobello mushrooms. You remember what those are?
Yeah, they have them
the
in
big
St.
ones.
They have them in
They're
St.
still
Louis
around.
too.
I didn't know
they're
they.
they're still around.
Well, I understand that. I understand that,
They're
but
just not available in Seattle.
okay, but they made them like steaks. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I went to a wedding reception one time,
Oh
and they
my
had these
God.
portobello mushrooms. I thought it was a steak, Vic, and it tasted like a steak. They grilled it, and it was awesome. So maybe if you tricked me one night, I would be okay with it.
I'm pretty sure where Dave's at in Southern California, he could go to a restaurant and find a portobello burger on the menu.
I'll bet you he could.
Probably.
So what do you have for us today as far as this mega storm that Vic likes to call it?
Mega whatever. We've had the mega heat this week. We've had the mega drought. We've had the mega flood.
Wow, I know.
It's mega everything now.
Is that okay? Well, first of all, let's go. There's two things I want to touch on. First is the solar flare. I see it all over the place. I see aurora borealis lights are supposed to hit St. Louis, blah, blah, blah. I see that electronics are getting knocked out. Do you follow the solar flare stuff, or is that too NASA-ish?
No. Do I follow it? I'm not sure I follow it. I'm aware of it. I get alerts from Space Weather, I think it is, that website. And there was a pretty good explosion on. Actually, yesterday it was still going on the sun, and it's not a direct hit on the Earth. It's kind of missing us, but it's big enough and it's close enough that the northern lights could get down as far as we are. But you know what? In the summertime, I don't get overly excited about that. But you could have some electronic problems, things like that.
Okay.
But
My cell phone
it's not
don't work.
anything weird. It's not like mega explosion on the sun that's going to take us all out.
And does it affect
Got
the weather?
normal activity.
Does it affect the weather?
Good
Sorry.
question.
Not in the short term, but the action of the sun, whether it's in a solar min or solar maximum, certainly has some play in long-term type forecasting.
Gotcha.
Well, Dave, and correct me if I'm wrong, and dumb it down for me, and I guess maybe some listeners who may feel like me too. So
Do I have to do that again?
Yes.
Use the sock puppets.
It's the kindergarten hour right now of the atmosphere.
I got crayons for you.
I failed math and science repeatedly, but I was good at English.
Carl wrote it up with a whiteboard over here.
The Earth's atmosphere protects us, correct?
Correct.
When the sun, I guess, it just has a bad day, so to speak, and starts blowing up and throwing all of these heat impulses out. So we're protected, but yet somehow some of the, I guess, heat impulses from the sun or surges affect
the energy. Yeah, some of the energy can get through, and it bounces off the atmosphere. It can have a lot of different effects on our atmosphere, and that's why it can have a lot of different effects on electronics, communications, things like that.
Okay, so that's the first thing. I don't feel so scared anymore. But I don't know if we talked to you about this last time. I think we kind of like, oh, this is a cute story, but it's not cute anymore. Lake Mead is going bye-bye, and they keep talking about this martini glass effect. Once it gets to a certain level, it's gone kind of a thing. Is Lake Mead going away? And that's what the major water center is out there in Nevada and I guess in Arizona. I mean, is it going away? It fuels the Hoover Dam. And
the water there goes into Colorado, from Colorado and into Lake Mead, and it affects the water supply in almost all the western states. It affects the water supply down in Mexico also. And they've cut back on how much water is going out. Is it going away? It's hard to say. I mean, obviously a severe drought has been taking place for the last 3 or 4 years in this La Nina pattern that we are in. The monsoonal season of these thunderstorms that form in the afternoon and early evening has been tremendous. But it appears that it's good for a lot of soil. It doesn't seem like they're capturing that water very well. But Lake Mead and some of the other lakes are going down. There's no question about it. But my problem with this is that the only thing that is being yelled about here is the climate change thing, is that you cannot look at just the climate change as the reason for this. you have to look at the demand for water
right.
in the West and the population growth in the West, population, agricultural growth in the West. Everything that's going on in the Western United States is also helping to drain these giant reservoirs of water that are essential. And, so yes, in the short term, got a problem, no question about it. But we also have a problem with demand and usage, and we've got to figure a way to kind of capture
we did
that.
this story last night on Fox 2, Eric, in regards to this. States who were relying on Lake Mead and other water sources have been warned, as Dave was talking about, for at least 5 to 10 years about water consumption.
Right.
And trying to come up with plans.
Okay.
And basically, the story was states haven't listened. And now they are listening. And I was like, oh, okay. So that makes sense what Dave says.
I guess so let's not get too scared now, I guess is what Dave is saying. That back in 34, when they started this project with the Hoover Dam, they didn't have Mexico drawing from it. They didn't have Arizona. They didn't have so it was really meant to just kind of create energy for the Las Vegas area, correct? And then that's
right. That's how it started. Also, don't forget that there was I think it's been about 15 years ago, is that there was a big concern that the water might top the Hoover Dam. There was so much water coming in. So that definitely goes in cycles. Is it something we need to be aware of? Absolutely. And in the Midwest, where the water supply is ample most of the time, it's a hard thing to kind of wrap your head around. But it's, you have to, one thing that I do, and it sounds kind of weird, but when I run my air conditioner, I collect the condensation from the AC in a bucket, and I use that. That's just one way to save some water.
What do you use the water for?
Well, the plants.
Water your plants?
For plants, pour it on my plants. Just pour the bucket right on the plant.
Yeah.
So do you
do
put
your part?
Do you put buckets out if it rains?
I do not have rain buckets. I used to have those in St. Louis all the time. Very effective. Haven't gotten around to that. We don't get a lot of rain around here, so when it rains, it's I should do that. That's one thing that should be done.
But what would you use with rainwater?
You would save it. You would store it.
Use it.
Yeah. What Dave just
into
said.
Gardening. Him and his wife.
Yeah, but the outside
exactly.
they need it already.
Instead of using the tap water,
right?
It totally makes sense.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better for a garden than rainwater, right?
Yeah,
you're absolutely
right.
But
when it does rain, you don't need to collect it because the ground needs it.
Yeah, but you're getting double.
So
your garden's getting rained on,
Yeah.
but you have buckets. So the next day or 2 or 3,
correct,
you can water
Then I
your
can see
garden
that.
with the
That makes
bucket.
sense to me.
So those are huge in Hawaii. Like my family that lives in Hawaii has that. They live on the Big Island. Yeah, and it's like a water cistern basically. And it has a filter over the top so you don't get leaves and like crap in it. And there's no animals that are going to be able to climb in and things like that. But yeah, and then it just turns on regular and you can run a hose out of it.
This is Dave, one of the Facebook listeners, viewers, whatever, however you want to say it, wants to know if it's illegal to capture rainwater in California.
There have been some individual city laws saying that it is. We've talked about this before. There's a heck of a lot of laws in California that would just spin your mind out of control, and nothing's ever enforced.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you can pass this law. Like you can't have a straw anymore. Okay, fine. And I understand that they kill sea turtles and all this, but you know what? If the water's running down the street and it's not being collected anywhere other than going in the drain and running away and not being saved, I don't get a law like that.
Yeah.
Why not be able to collect it?
Yeah, who does it belong to?
Is it fair? I mean, because someone that's open-minded like myself, I do listen to the climate guys, and when you see all of the things that they're doing, I'm like, look, I kind of don't believe this. I don't feel like humans could be, out of 4 billion years, we could be that detrimental to this planet. I just don't see that the Industrial Revolution did that much stuff to this planet. But on the other hand, is it fair to say that you're seeing more and more video of just weird things? You brought it up when we first came on the show, Dave. Mega That seems to be the word of the day in weather. Mega. We had 11 to 12 inches of rain in St. Charles, Missouri about a month ago.
In like
I've
6
never
hours.
seen that before in my life. Is that
Right.
Is that
But you know what? I'm going to say, well, we have, because in almost the same area back about 18 years ago, there was a very similar setup in the atmosphere. It was all centered on Union, Missouri, and had like 14 inches of rain overnight. So those things can happen. Do they happen very often? No, but they certainly can happen. And we need to, if we forget the past, if we don't look past any, of what's happened in the past, then we're just going to mess everything up. Just going to mess everything up.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be scared, and everybody's just going to say, forget it.
Yeah, true.
I don't care anymore.
Dave, we were talking last week about the Farmer's Almanac. What can you say about this, the forecast for this winter? It doesn't look good if you read the Farmer's Almanac.
There's two Farmer's Almanacs. There's the old Farmer's Almanac, which has the tradition of the real forecast, so to speak. And then there's an offshoot called the Farmer's Almanac. That forecast is coming from there. The old Farmer's Almanac, it doesn't come out until October, I think. And don't ask me about winter yet, because I'm just putting the finishing touches on fall. And fall is, the month of October is really key to what may happen in the wintertime. So I don't like to rush into a winter forecast.
Well, what do you think's going to happen in October?
He's not going to tell you. That's a hot tease, Chris.
Yeah, it's a tease because it's coming out next week.
Because people like me look forward to this.
But Dave, why does this offshoot farmers market? Is it just to make money, get some publicity?
I think there is. I mean, they do an almanac. There's a physical almanac you can buy in the store.
Yeah.
And I think you can get that now. And it's just
It's like
something.
It's like CVS to Walgreens.
Well,
CVS always puts
Yeah,
themselves
well,
next to
Dave.
Walgreens. They get the free. They get
It's
the
like
leftover
Channel
money.
2 versus Channel 5.
There you go.
I got you. I guess two is the original. No.
Oh!
Actually, no, it wasn't. 5 was there pretty big first.
All right, Dave. So next week you're going to give us the fall forecast, is what you're saying.
Yes,
Nice.
I can do that.
I got one other quick question, Dave. Are you familiar? It's from a friend of mine. Texted me. I'm sorry, I got to do this before you get out of here. Have
That's
you ever
okay.
heard of laws or rules against collecting rainwater? Because when you were telling that story, a friend of mine said there are some rules or laws in the book, as he used the F word, effed up as it is, against collecting rainwater.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There's definitely some laws. I don't think it's a state law. I could be wrong on that, but there's certainly towns have said you can't do this.
Okay, so here's the other thing, and this is in your Senate over there right now, is they're talking about metering your water and fining you for any water that you use. So you will have, it won't be just a slap on the wrist, hey, say, can you stop using the plastic straws? They will literally send you a bill, said, hey, you went over your allotment by X amount.
Well, it's the conservation thing.
Or
It
do
is.
you
Right,
have people around you? Because the last time I was there, I spent more time in LA County than Orange County, but there were people that were getting stipends for not growing grass in their front yard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you put artificial turf in, or you put
or just
like
dirt.
natural plants in, you can get kind of a kickback from either the state or the town.
But
or
it blew
the
my
county
mind.
Or
Like
whatever.
driving through nice neighborhoods in like around Beverly Hills and stuff like that. These gorgeous homes.
With
And they
bonsai,
have
with big
dirt.
bonsai
They
yards.
have dirt in their
Yeah.
front yard. It's just that, like, I mean, you could kick it and
Well, that's-
it would give you a dust.
Don't
you know?
I mean, it's just they're living the lifestyle of the Green New Deal is really what it is. Is they really, even though you have $1 million in Beverly Hills, you subscribe. A lot of people out there in California subscribe to that, don't they, Dave? It's like, I am going to do my part. Hybrids here. I'm going to have no dirt or no grass in my lawn.
And by the way, $1 million in Beverly
No,
Hills
you're right.
will not even buy you post box.
That's so true. I'm sorry. I thought about that as soon as I said it. $1 billion is what I meant to say.
You can get lunch for the month.
Yeah, really. Go down to the whiskey for
But
lunch.
you're right. They feel like if at the end of the day they look at the mirror when they're brushing their teeth,
They can feel good about
say to
themselves as
Yep.
they're getting on their jet down there at John Wayne International.
Right, exactly.
Yep,
Now, that's Leonardo. That's
Whatever.
Leonardo DiCaprio who's doing that.
The noise abatement takeoff, which takes so much gas, it's unbelievable.
Oh, right.
Well, you can start with Kroenke and his stadium
I
and everything else he's
I
got
understand.
going on. Dave,
Well,
we're
I went to SoFi about a month ago.
How was
pretty
it?
impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive. I saw Kenny Chesney and Dan and Shay and who else was there? Old Dominion was
Oh,
there.
nice.
Nice.
It's not. I didn't find it, and maybe it's a stadium show versus an amphitheater show, but was not a fan of it as far as a concert is concerned. I can see for a football game, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, they stole it from us.
That's
Anyway,
right.
I'm just bitter. Whatever. At least we got the Battle Hawks.
Maybe.
I know. I hope
They're
they
gonna be
don't
a
take that
different
away
name.
from us because
We're gonna have a
Cabal was
different
so
name.
good.
In the Edward Jones Dome. Yeah, all right. Enough.
Hey, Dave, we appreciate it. Thanks for taking so much time to
You got it.
inform us this morning.
Yeah,
I
look
feel
forward-
better.
Right.
I look
feel
forward
better.
to the fall forecast.
Does
me
everybody
too.
feel better?
Yes.
Like Mead is not such a catastrophe after
We
all.
always feel better after we talk to Dave.
Okay.
Thanks a lot,
Good,
Dave.
Good.
All right, guys.
Have a good day.
I don't
That's
know,
awesome.
man. It's so one thing I forgot to think about is you look. Do you follow the Lake Mead stuff at all?
I follow
Do
everything.
you?
Yeah,
I'm
guess,
telling you.
Guess how many bodies have been pulled out?
Is it
Is
5?
that wait? Hold on.
Let's
Wait a
find.
minute.
let's
Look at me.
see-
Look at me.
You said, "Do I follow?"
Here,
Let's
put the
find
number
out-
in your head. Let's see if let's
Let's
put the
let's
number in your head
find
right now.
out if you've been following.
Here, put the number in your head right
He
now. Do you
already
know?
knows, Eric.
All right, let me look.
I
at it real
already
fast.
said it on radio.
8,
No, 5.
5.
5 bodies have been
But
pulled
today,
out.
3 more will be
But
found.
they're expecting. They're
But
expecting
they don't
more.
know if all the body parts belong to each other, right?
Yeah, they're trying to figure all that out right now.
So it might be.
So yes, I am following it, Eric.
Okay.
What was your point?
It
in
might
that?
be 10.
My point in that is, you look at it, you go, "Oh, damn, climate is really happening," but it's not. It's basically you hooked up a lot of lines to that lake, and now
Bingo.
and that water is being siphoned. It would be like the Lake of the Ozarks and Nebraska coming
Well,
to
they
the
can
lake.
have that water.
Let's give that to Kansas.
No, let's give it to
KU.
Mexico.
Kansas deserves that water. Let's start at the University of Kansas. Give
Yeah.
it to their basketball team. Anyway,
I didn't say that.
I did 100%. You better believe it. We'd be better without the University of Kansas.
Oh, my
I'm sorry.
Dang.
Anyway,
Oh.
hey, we got to take a quick break on that note. MIZZOU. Now you get it.
Now you just cursed them, didn't
Eric
they? Playing KU
Johnson,
this year?
Chris Knight,
Damn.
Crystal Cooper. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Boy, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. We've done an hour and a half already. We got a lot to get into, all the things going on. We haven't even talked about today. Oh, there's a hearing today about that affidavit. Oh, we're going to get into it all. We come back. Let us know if there's something you want us to touch on as well. It is The Edge. Back with more.
The Edge Morning Show is coming right back.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Midwest premier craft show is coming, a St. Charles tradition. The Festival of the Little Hills, August 19th through the 21st in St. Charles, all along Main Street and in Frontier Park, with more than 300 arts and crafts vendors, amazing eats, entertainment, Lewis and Clark Keelboat, and a children's area. There's live music on the main stage with Queens Boulevard, Trixie Delight, Platinum Rock Legends, and much more, with free shuttles from 4 locations to the festival ground. Visit festivaloftheLittleHills.com for maps, vendors, and entertainment schedules. That's festivaloftheLittleHills.com.
If you want the best, don't settle for the rest. Come to F&S. F&S Collision Repair provides the best customer service, quality of work, paint color match, and paintless dent repair. They do it all. No job too big or too small. Just what your car or truck ordered. F&S Collision. Call today to schedule your appointment and get that car repaired. F&S Collision Repair.
This year, Progress West Hospital celebrates 15 years of caring. A member of BJC Healthcare, Progress West Hospital has had the privilege of serving the St. Charles County community since 2007, proudly delivering more than 9,800 babies, treating more than 330,000 emergency patients, and performing more than 36,000 surgeries. Thank you for entrusting Progress West Hospital, your best medicine close to home, for 15 years. To learn more about Progress West Hospital, visit progresswest.org.
DQ presents Picture this. Picture the burger of your dreams. It's on the new DQ Signature Stack Burgers menu. A lineup of 5 premium burgers like the Flamethrower Signature Stack Burger and Loaded A1 Signature Stack Burger with 100% seasoned real beef patties, melty cheese, and a combo of top-notch toppings and sauces galore. This dream burger is calling your name. But it isn't a dream. You're ordering at the DQ drive-thru. The DQ Signature Stack Burgers lineup. Try it today. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Hey, Brian Dawson here. Folks, Brian Dawson Roofing and Construction is a roofing company dedicated to excellence and quality. We are very familiar with working with insurance as well as uninsured roofing needs. We do room additions, small roofs, big roofs, steep roofs, flat roofs, residential and commercial. So hey, if you have any roofing or construction needs, call me, Brian Dawson.
Learn more by visiting BrianDawsonRoofing.com or call 636-465-9465. That's 465-9465.
Jay's RV in Warrenton does factory and extended warranty repairs on all models and is the only mobile RV repair company in the area. Now is the time to get your RV checked out at Jay's RV in Warrenton for service or bodywork on any brand. Jay's RV will get you ready for a problem-free season. Sales and service the way it should be. Jay's RV. Online at jaysrvrepair.com. That's jaysrvrepair.com.
Here's a message for Quiver River Electric members. Vote now in your annual Board of Directors election through August 22nd. Members may vote online, by paper ballot, or at the annual meeting on August 25th. If you vote, you're automatically entered into a drawing for free electricity prizes. Learn more about the voting process, the bylaw proposition on the ballot, and board candidates at quiver.com.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's a Thursday. It's August 18th. It's 9:31. Eric Johnson's here doing his thing. Chris Knight on the board. Crystal Cooper. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Am I looking at something that's real or wrong? What the hell? Did Joe Biden just sign off and tell companies to drill, baby drill?
Yes.
I'm looking for the story right now.
Oh, it's all over the place.
If you have it, read it. I can't find it.
What about the largest oil gas lease sale in the U.S. history?
Yeah, what's going on?
Come on,
with that?
Crystal, bring the high heat.
Let's see. It says here that the Inflation Reduction Act reinstates Lease Sale 257, an oil and gas sale spanning 80.8 million acres across the Gulf of Mexico.
But the sale, I don't understand what that means.
Well, they lease land and they sell land.
Yeah.
And when you lease it, you basically get the country gets a stipend from that. When you sell it, you just make the money off of it. And what Crystal's reading right now, it goes against all of the green policies that he's been schlepping for the last 18 months. And he's like, you know what? I went to Saudi Arabia. I went to Iran. There's nothing there. We have the most energy. I'm done. Joe Manchin, will you sign this if I give the leases out? And Joe Manchin probably was like, yep, let's go. So I think that what you're seeing there was the trade-off behind closed doors. Keep it under your hat, but we'll do it.
So that's not anything to do with midterms coming up.
It wouldn't be, because it would go against his base, wouldn't it?
That's what
Seriously,
I'm trying
you see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Joe Manchin can go into the midterm and say, I went to bat for you guys. We're able to drill for coal. We're able to drill for oil. We're able to frack. And I did that for you guys, so you need to reelect me. Biden can stay quiet and say, I don't know what you're talking about, but if the leases go through and they sell the land, we do have more energy in the country then, and the prices of oil and gas will go down. So it's unfortunate that we got to play politics with this, because this is what the country has been asking for the last 2 years.
Yeah, well, and a bunch of people who are touting the Green New Deal and all of those things, they all signed off on this. So I'm just a little confused because they passed the Inflation Reduction Act that this was a part of. So I'm just confused. They're talking out both sides of their mouth.
I think not. I think that the money. So this bill is $750 billion, right? Of which certain companies, silver companies, solar panel companies, wind companies, they're going to have a windfall of money. But behind closed doors, Biden probably was like, look, we cannot power the country on sunshine for the next 20 years. We can't do it. It's not possible.
Yeah.
So they said, all right, here's the deal. Manchin, and this is just my theory. Manchin, if you sign this, I will keep this traditional energy in place and we'll go crazy. And I would imagine that they had meetings with the oil companies and the oil executives.
They're playing
politics.
I got to figure it out.
They're playing politics.
Yeah.
There's no way that the speaker or that the press secretary comes out in the White House and says, we have great news, AOC. We have great news, AOC. We are going to light it up as far as oil production. So get ready for some $2 a gallon gas.
Well, we're going to get more news on that's coming out. Also, the big news today, we've got the federal magistrate in Florida set to hold a hearing on whether to make public the affidavit that the FBI used to justify the raid at Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump's estate. So Donald Trump has demanded it be released. Rand Paul has demanded it be released. The Justice Department says, no, we can't release it. They're giving their 2 cents on why and how certain critical information could not be shown to the public. You've got two different sides to this right now. What happens out of it? But what I find is interesting is that judge, Bruce Reinhart, is the same judge who initially allowed it to go through. He signed off on the raid. So he's going to preside over the hearing.
Again,
this judge is really going to make it public?
Yeah. So
I'd be surprised if he did. Anything's possible.
And it's not
but Judge Reinhart is also the same judge, which you won't find nationally in any media coverage or locally. You won't find certain people on this radio show that listen to our show that will admit what's going on. But this is the same judge who donated handsomely to Barack Obama.
Let's just get this out there. Let's get this out there.
We got to. You got to give every bit of. We don't tell the full story enough in news, and you got to.
What do you think we've been telling you for the last 2 years?
You and I.
I feel like Eric has been beating that drum.
This show.
Yes.
No, this show.
Yeah.
We try, and I've been beating that drum where I am constantly saying we need to tell the full story.
Yes.
You don't get it. National news. I've said that for 2 years since the show started. We don't tell the full story.
But we need it in local news because there's a lot of audience in local news.
And this is the problem. As we've said, local news doesn't do the national stories. So
it has to.
So we take the national stories and run them since we focus on local.
Yes.
That's the issue.
Yeah, but this is a lot of minutia.
So Eric's issue has been with what happened from a national standpoint.
It has. And you know what? After our fantastic discussion yesterday with Crystal Cooper, and even to some extent, John Parker and our friend Drew Collins, I'm losing faith. I'm losing hope that the things that I think are accurate, just like you said, it's a complete conflict of interest. But there aren't enough soccer moms in Chesterfield and Ladue, as we talked about yesterday, that give a damn
Not yet.
about it. It's like
take freedoms away, and they start to a little more.
Yeah, but what freedoms? Which freedoms?
Well, it started with, quote, being able to
CTR or
send kids
critical
to school.
race theory?
Then you had to put kids in masks.
Yeah.
Then whether you wanted to get a vaccine or not, being able to go to the grocery store, being able to go to a movie theater, being able to go to a restaurant. If you have enough taken away eventually, it's the proverbial.
Yeah.
You're not going to pay attention until you have everything taken away from you. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah, this is a 747 heading straight for a mountain. And there comes a time when the 747 has no more room to navigate to not hit the damn side of the wall. And this $750 billion package that went through, man, that got you 1 mile out. You better pull up quick or you're done with this country. I'm telling you right now. I don't mean to sound like, but what we had in our country, freedom, we had low prices. We had no social. If you brought up the word socialism in my day, you were in a McCarthy-style investigation. Communism is right around the corner. It is. Socialism is really the thing. Green-era socialism is the worst thing you could do to this country. It will kill it. It will kill it. But maybe, Vic, people like me who go, everything that we are doing right now has an anecdote, right? Crime.
Maybe.
What is the anecdote to crime? What's the? Let me start here. I was thinking about
Hold
this
on,
yesterday.
hold on, Eric.
No.
Check
It's the same thing.
You're running wild again. You're running all over
Let
the place.
me back up
Hold
because
on.
this
Let's
will
focus on one topic.
No, I'm going to back up to get us to where I was going.
All right.
What is the anecdote for darkness?
Light.
Light. What is the anecdote
Or it's
for?
the opposite.
Well, it's the anecdote. It solves darkness, doesn't it? What is the anecdote for dry?
Yeah, water.
You need water. What is the anecdote? What is the antidote for crime?
Police.
Police. What's the antidote for good education?
Yeah, maybe pay your teachers.
Good teachers, right? The Democrats are they're not taking any of these things to heart. When we talk to our friends like Drew Collins on the air, he says the dumbest things to me when it comes to like, Drew, you have a crime problem, you need to fix it. He talks about defunding the police still. Well, you're never going to get over your crime situation unless you fund the police. So what we're going through right now, Vic, is a situation where the mess of the soccer moms in Chesterfield, they don't see how to fix the darkness. They are still voting for the darkness for some reason, and I cannot figure out.
Or not voting at all.
Well, that's voting.
That's
voting. It's like a hockey game. When you tie a hockey game, you might not get the full point. You get a half of a point. That's what not voting does. It gives the opponent a half of a point, which adds up.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of those
It's a
things that we
great
were
analogy.
talking about.
You don't
that
have an
are-
antidote for the crap that is trying to get fixed, Vic. You don't have an antidote.
Have we not talked
the
about this?
$750 billion is not an antidote.
Have we not talked about this for 2 years? Yes, we talk about this all the time. We've talked about it for 2 years, over 2 years.
I asked Drew Collins. I said, Drew,
Don't
hold on.
let him get to you.
I said, Drew, no, because here's why I like Drew. Because I feel like one day he's going to come up with a diatribe, a doctorate, a thesis, and he's going to post it to the Facebook line, and I'm going to go, oh, my God, I didn't even think about that. What a genius summation of what we've been. Oh, my God, Drew's a genius.
Nope, not happening.
But
It
he
won't
never
happen.
does, and I always challenge him. I go, what is the fix on people getting shot in Walgreens parking lots, Drew? Oh, we just got to defund the police.
That's,
What?
That's,
You're an idiot. So
Well-
when I say you're an idiot, I mean it in the most loving way.
Our Facebook listeners aren't idiots.
No, they're geniuses.
They are geniuses. And when we were talking about, and I told you, that whole situation in the Gulf doesn't make sense to me. And I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but it needs to be followed very closely. As Richard says, if the leases are sold to Chinese petroleum companies, then they can buy them. And guess
Wait
what?
a minute.
That oil
Yes.
would not come back to us.
Wait a minute. I didn't hear about that.
So
So
if
that's the
they're
minutia
selling
that we
it-
got to go.
Well, I didn't know about this either, which is why I was asking. This is all kind of real time. As I told you, I wasn't sure what was going on, which is why I asked Crystal. I'll do a deep dive and study it. But that is something to pay attention. Who actually gets to buy? Because we already know what China is doing with,
we
with
got to
American
do a
farmland.
Deep dive.
Just something to follow. Richard, thank you for the update from that standpoint.
Deep dive. Good question.
Another good point when we were talking about the Trump case today with Judge Reinhardt. Judge Reinhardt was involved in the Trump-Hillary, Trump sued Hillary. He recused himself from that case, but he didn't recuse himself from the follow-up case on this affidavit. He still stayed in this case. Very interesting point as well. Why would he just not recuse himself unless legally he couldn't from this case as well? But he would recuse himself from another Trump case. Very good questions. Very good points. Love the Facebook line. You can always jump in on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. And since you brought up his name, I think Drew Collins just put one of the most intelligent things he's ever said. On our Facebook line, Drew says, Eric, it all starts at home.
Okay, but if you are the mayor of St. Louis, it doesn't matter. If you're the mayor of St. Louis, Missouri, your job is not to go into everyone's homes and say, hey, do we have a father here? Do we have everybody got a job? Do all the kids not have weapons in their back pocket? Okay, we're leaving here. No, it does start at home. Drew's right about that. But also, if you're the mayor or you're a leadership politician in the city of St. Louis, your job is to literally make sure that the trash gets picked up. Your job is to make sure that you have not 1,000 cops, but 4,000 cops, because you have one of the most crime-ridden cities in the city, in the country. Your job is to make sure that when you drive your Mercedes downtown to go to a nice 5-star dinner, that you don't smash your front end because there's potholes in the way. Your job is to make sure when I get on the metro, I'm not going to get raped. I'm not going to get pistol whipped. That's your job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a damn what you guys take care of what's in your house. I will take care of the other stuff. That's why I'm saying, come up with every problem you want out of St. Louis. Here, Crystal Cooper, if you're the mayor of St. Louis, companies are definitively leaving St. Louis, and worse yet, they're not.
This is a whole nother topic.
No, it's not. It's the same topic.
No,
Crystal. And they're not coming to St. Louis. And they're not coming to St. Louis.
Right.
You're the mayor of St. Louis. What in the hell do you do?
Yeah, I would think you have to clean up the streets and get rid of a lot of the crime. And
taxes down.
Yeah.
This is basic
Blithing
stuff that
areas.
we've talked about 1,000 times.
I'll say it 1,000,000 more times before I quit the show.
And nothing has, well, you know the deal.
I'm just asking Crystal. I would vote for Crystal for anything.
There's plenty of things. That's what I think is frustrating is it's not just one thing we're sitting here complaining about. Like, come on, get off your arse and do your job. It's lots of things. I mean, we just said like 6 different things that could be fixed that could help that situation. And like I said in the past, my dad back in the day was was part of that huge development that's across the street from the Galleria, the Boulevard. And it took them so long to be able to get Crate and Barrel and P.F. Chang's and certain places, Maggiano's, to even want to come here. They tried to put them in a different place closer to downtown.
That's
back
as
before. Close as they wanted to get to downtown.
And that was before all of the crime.
Bring it home,
started to hit the Brentwood and Galleria.
Bring it home, Vic.
No, hear this. The part of the initial proposal
I like
was
that
they
P.F.
wanted
Chang's.
they wanted to have a walkway across Brentwood Boulevard to connect the boulevard to the Galleria.
That makes sense.
And they said, no.
Why?
Maggiano's would not have signed on. Nope. All those businesses said, you do that, we're out.
Because of what?
Crime.
Because of crime coming in, Vic.
Yeah.
Tonight on Channel 2 News, we go deep.
You
Look,
went
I even
deep
have my promo
over-
voice.
You went deep over to this from our national oil. How did you? What did you want to go into?
Because I wanted to show that it's political. Everything that we talk about on this damn show has a political bent to
That's
it.
life.
It's almost like what Biden did was like, duh. I mean, nobody on this show goes, okay, that wasn't a bad decision. That was a great decision. But it came at the expense of inflation going to be jumping through the roof again and climate activists getting everything they want. Look, we've gone through this exercise with Obama. What was the Solyndra company? That's what they were doing. They were doing green initiatives and green companies. And guess what? They're all bankrupt now. They don't work. Have you guys, and someone brought this up on the Facebook line, and I'll leave it here, and I'll go back to it being Thursday and a beautiful day. Did you guys ever take a road trip up to Chicago and see the dilapidated wind farms up there and the windmills that are catch on fire? Or have you been in Los Angeles and gone through the desert and seen on the wind farms out there? It's an eyesore. It is disgusting. They always catch on fire. They are always falling off at the top of the thing.
The drive from San Diego to Palm.
It's horrible. It's amazing, though. It really is amazing how disgusting it is for the environment. Another thing, let's go put here, Vic. Let's go put a million electric cars on the road, of which we will have to basically strip mine for all of these natural resources. And then once the battery is no longer working, we put it in a landfill somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Where's the logic in that? And then go beg to China that we need more natural resources from your. I could go on. We haven't even talked about the new banking system between China and Russia because they have all the minerals.
We've talked about this over the past few months. And by the way, next Wednesday, it's either Wednesday or Thursday, Ron Krzyzewski, Stiefel CEO, will be joining us. We've been talking about getting him on ever since the Ukrainian conflict and the war with Russia began in regards to what has happened with the global economy. You will not want to miss Ron. We will let you know. He will be joining us at 8:25 next Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, gold might not be the big thing anymore. Did you hear this? It might be the resources that it takes to build these cars and this electric New Deal. And guess who has all that stuff? Russia and China.
Hey, I know we're bouncing back and forth from a few topics, but from the Facebook line, and we value your guys' comments. Glenn, are you just shooting from the hip, or did something happen that I wasn't familiar with? Nelly made the Galleria appealing to thugs?
Well,
did I miss something?
Listen to his lyrics.
Was it because of lyrics?
I know, but he sung about Frontenac, too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, but there's no mall in Frontenac.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
Frontenac
Galleria?
Mall. Frontenac
Yeah,
Mall.
Frontenac.
Yeah, it's
Plaza
not as big as the
Frontenac.
Galleria,
It's not
though.
as big, but it doesn't matter. It's big.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I'd blame that on Nelly. I will agree with Drew. It starts at home. It does. I'm sorry, but I was just as afraid.
That's your church and your school.
Right, but I was just as afraid of what my parents were going to do to me if I came home and said I got arrested or something with the cops.
Oh, yeah,
So
absolutely.
that is not a fear that kids have nowadays.
No, you should. As a kid, you should have fears from all sides.
Mm-hmm.
You should have fears from your parents.
Oh,
You should have fears from your uncles and your aunts.
I was
And then when you see
fearful-
a cop, you should be able to say, if I go 37 and a 35, I'm going to get pulled over.
Oh, yeah.
You should be afraid of the consequences of not living in a structured society.
Mm-hmm. Or how about if your parents' friends see you out and about, right? I was fearful that if I did something stupid in front of my friends' parents, that was definitely getting back to mine.
As Drew said, it all starts in the home.
Yeah.
But he's right about
There
that.
you go.
But you know
I
what?
told you it was the most
Think about
intelligent thing he
church. Think about
said.
the old days of church, man.
I
Remember, think
know,
about the old
there's-
days when you would be going to church with your family and you would hear whatever you would hear and you would have fellowship with your friends at church on Sunday. You didn't want to go, but you went and you had a fantastic time and you built friendships and you built community and you built a bedrock. That's the key word right there, Vic.
Of course
you
it
can't,
is.
You can't build a house on top of, cotton.
You're saying everything that I've said on this show as well for 2 years.
I'm going to come and do a free speech at your church one day. He's going to give me the keys, and I'm going to come and talk to your
Drew says the
congregation.
kids don't have any respect. Glenn says fatherless homes. He also says that Metrolink played a role,
It did.
whatever it is.
You mean the ghetto link? That's what I'm talking about.
Todd says, I hope we're talking about falling angels tomorrow. It is Conspiracy Friday, so get ready, bring it in. We're talking about giving those 4-packs of 4 different sets of tickets away tomorrow to the best conspiracy theories explained and or listening to certain songs that we play. We'll let you know about that tomorrow.
I would
Plus,
like tomorrow to be, Vic, if it's okay, since we have the Facebooks. I would like, and here's where I'm seeing all this. I don't know if you are. I don't know if this happens to Vic, because Vic is way too clean in his life. Not me.
I am.
I think that
I'm clean how?
Just your TikTok feed is like sports and it's about nutrition and it's about
Have you
men's,
seen my
men's
TikTok
life.
feed?
Not mine, man. Mine, I am about UFOs. I'm about ghost videos. I'm about chupacabras.
Don't ask to
The
see my,
creepiest
don't
stuff
ask to
you've
see
ever
my
seen.
TikTok feed then,
Huh?
because it sounds a whole lot like that.
Yes. Hot models. And Chris's is about Lamborghinis and Ferraris.
Oh my God.
Not mine. Mine's about bass guitars and
And
ghosts.
Crystal's is about Bush Light. Okay, I see where this is going. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. It is The Edge.
The Morning Edge. 100.7 The Viper.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
Please leave a message at the beep.
Hey, it's fun. Remember me? Miss you, buddy. Look, I know it's been a minute, but we gotta get the fam back down to Holiday World and Splash and Safari. They've got 3 of the top 5 water coasters in the world. Remember getting soaked on Mammoth and Cheetah Chase? Or screaming down monster roller coasters like Thunderbird and Voyage? Tickets are still at holidayworld.com. Oh, the kids want to say something. Go ahead.
KFC knows that when it comes to chicken sandwiches, there's good and there's finger-licking good.
A chicken sandwich? That's good. A 100% white meat KFC chicken sandwich so delicious it forces you to rethink everything you know about sandwiches, including whether or not they even need buns, but then you remember how good a brioche bun can be and then having to rethink your rethinking? That's finger-licking good.
KFC's chicken sandwich, always served hot and crispy, in your choice of classic or spicy. Order now on the KFC app. Kentucky Fried Chicken, that's finger-licking good.
Prices and product availability may vary.
Midnight Auto Supply in St. Peters carries a full line of automotive parts and paints. They're a PPG Platinum distributor of automotive paint and industrial coatings and auto body shop supplies. For over 40 years, your hometown auto parts store is Midnight Auto. Stop in at Midnight Auto Supply in St. Peters, just off Mexico Road, 447-4000, 447-4000, on the web at mid-niteautosupply.com.
My daughter used to be a shining star. I would tell her, there's nothing you can't do. Now, it's like living with a stranger. It happens so fast. Centerpoint Hospital, real help for addiction and hope for a bright future.
If a young person dear to you is facing substance use, the Changing Point at Centerpoint Hospital now offers adolescent treatment solutions with detox, 4-week residential, and outpatient treatment. The Changing Point for Adolescents at Centerpoint Hospital. Hope for a bright future.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
The graphics are so real on this video game console I bought with the savings from switching to Progressive 10 years ago. I can't tell what's real and what's the game, which I think is what people want. You know, in the future, which it is currently.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
All right, guys, don't miss out tomorrow. We'll get things rocking. We'll talk about some more conspiracy theories since Eric wants it. Eric's bringing it. He's bringing the high heat tomorrow. It's your show, baby. We got an 8:25 interview.
I'm not bringing anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out what I've seen. And I want the Facebookers.
Are you going to do this at 8 o'clock?
It's going to be the most boring show ever.
You're going to be here for the
Because all I'm going to be doing is watching Facebook guys send me videos.
And we'll also give away tickets, I promise. Have an awesome day. Go Cardinals. 12-10 game today. Adam Wainwright. Glenn says he'll drink a Busch Light in your honor today, Crystal. There you go.
I might be there.
There you go. Drink a beer. And Glenn Thompson says Genesis 6:4. We talked about it yesterday.
Now, what is
the
that?
Nephilim. Go study it.
No,
Go
just tell me.
Hey, blow the dust off your Bible tonight.
Damn.
If you need one, I'll bring you one. I'll get you one.
Just tell me. Give me
Look
the
up Genesis
synopsis
6:4.
version. Give me the Cliff Notes.
Fallen angel.
Okay.
See you for Fox 2 News at 5 and 9 tonight.
Have you worn purple lately?
Nope, we're going to wear... Oh, I don't... no, I haven't.
I was just thinking of Coco likes purple and green. So
We'll wear some purple tonight.
There you go.
There you go, wear purple. All you, purple.
Purple.
You got
All right, there it is. Shanny's up next. Have a great day.
Bye.